Hi y'all, what's good? I'm back here with another video. We about to check out quarter zips and respectability politics. This coming from that boy Antonio. I have to say he is one of the, in my opinion, he's one of the most important YouTubers for the culture right now. He's been putting out some really good content. It's related to black people, just related to our relation, race relations in the United States. This is a topic that I have my own opinions on. And, as you can see me all dressed all prim and proper, I just came home from work actually, and I saw this video pop up. I was like, you know what? I gotta go ahead and react to this shit. So let's go ahead and give it a look. All right. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead.
Young black men are finally waking up. They ditching the ghetto, trashy streetwear and are finally assimilating with society. I ain't gonna cap. These brothers clean. They clean as hell.
Nah. See, and that's the thing about this whole trend right here, though. That's the thing about this whole trend, honestly. Like, that's some clean ass fits. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm looking at that shit. I'm like, man, I might have to peep game real. I might have to peep game real quick. I pull up to the office wearing that, man. You know what I'm saying? I might have to peep game real quick. Go ahead and see what's up. See what's up.
Fresh. Got the matcha in their hand, all right?
We don't do Nike
Oh, see, now this is the original guy
we don't
right
do
here.
Coffee.
This is the first guy I
Straight
saw.
quarter zips and matchas around here. He was talking about putting on a Nike Tech to come outside.
Yeah, this is the
What are you
first guy I
doing?
saw.
You upgraded in life. You wear glasses now. You wear quarter zips. Now, you don't do Nike Techs. You don't do those. Talk to us.
Yo,
Talk to us.
yesterday I was in the hood.
Uh-huh.
Today I'm wearing this sweater.
Uh-huh.
I'm in Blank Street, gang.
Uh-huh.
Change your life, gang. Put the tech down.
Uh-huh.
Put
Text
the tech
down. Quarter zips up. You heard?
See, that's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I'm not sure how exactly Antonio's going to get into this topic. I'm actually interested in how he angles it because I talked to some of my homies about this recently. And my thing is, I first started seeing this pop up, and I thought that this was funny, and I still think that this is funny. But we'll just let the video go on a little bit longer, and I'll go into the exact reservations I have about this personally. Let's just go ahead and continue with this.
Zips up. So I like and dislike this trend. I love seeing young black men getting out of their comfort zone and trying new outfit styles. As you go through this trend, you just see how, as black men, we be killing the fashion game. Anything we put on, we gonna look spiffy in it. Now, what I dislike, and hear me out, okay? Hear me out. It's low-key anti-black. Just even the fact that these quarter zips, which is associated with the white culture in a way, it's already put on a higher pedestal than streetwear, which is associated with black people. We see this time and time again, but everything that black people do is always deemed ghetto until, white people do it.
And see, I think he put that in a very succinct way. For me personally, I can go ahead and relate this to ski mask, for example. It's very popular for you to have YNs, outside wearing ski masks, and you automatically think that they're a thug and they're about to rob you because they're wearing a ski mask. Now, if we're just being honest, this is me speaking as a black man and kind of just thinking about how deeply, just white supremacy and white culture is just like perpetuated within society overall, to the point where, for me personally, I can look at a black person with a ski mask and I would think of myself as someone that's like less affected by that, but still be a little wary, if that makes sense. But then when it comes down to white people wearing ski masks, the obvious assumption for most people is going to be, he's probably about to go skiing. They don't think he's a thug. They don't think he's about to rob a store or anything. They just think he's about to go skiing. Whereas with the black person, on the other hand, you go ahead and you start clutching your pearls. You clutch your purse. You lock your car door. You let up your window and all this stuff. So it's just one of those things for where, like, when I think about this trend, thinking about the Nike tech suit or whatever, the Nike techs, and them getting rid of all that stuff. What it overall is like really doing, in my personal opinion, really is just putting down black culture and instead lifting up white culture and saying like, yeah, white folks, they be doing quarter zips and all this stuff, it's perfectly fine. Which I can go ahead and fuck with a quarter zip. Personally, I fuck with a quarter zip. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear a quarter zip, but I'm saying that lifting up a quarter zip at the detriment of putting down a Nike tech suit is essentially the equivalent of like complimenting someone in a way of putting someone else down. We don't need any of that. That's not necessary.
it. So with this trend, they're like denouncing Nike Techs, which by the way costs more than these quarter zips. It's put down as, you know, for ghetto people and
I don't got a Nike Tech. Shit, man.
and less than people, while the quarter zips are higher up, which is an example of how, you know, society already does black people. Anything that is associated with black culture is negative, and get rid of it. Don't do it. It's the same reason why in the corporate world you can't have dreads or you can't wear your hair in certain ways.
In the corporate world, you can't have dreads. See, seeing this right here, this the crazy thing. You know, I'm in the corporate world with dreads. So I mean, I'm not disproving it. You know, he's right. But this goes into a whole different topic for me personally. Now, for me, you know, in my field, you know, I work in the corporate world. I'm not going to get into too much detail about what I do specifically. It's not really relevant. But I literally did go to work looking just like this today. Like, I literally just got home. I sat down in this chair and I started recording this video. This is why I did. This is what I did. But like, when it comes down to it, I started growing my dreads out maybe 3 years. I think it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I started growing my dreads out. I started growing them out, and I decided that I was going to cut them off at a certain point. And my entire reasoning for cutting it out, and I even have like black people that work in my workplace that have told me this personally. They've just been like, yo, man, like, if you want to move up higher on the ladder and everything, you're probably going to want to let go of the hair. You're probably going to want to go ahead and cut that shit down, you know, or whatever. And I used to buy into that. And I think that for the most part, I would agree, if you are black and you want to move up the corporate ladder, it is probably best for you to go ahead and get the little Bill haircut. You know, go ahead and get one of them cuts. You know, go ahead and shave your shit short. It's probably for the best. But I've decided personally, for me, I'm going to keep growing it out because I'm super pro-black and I'm not about to let myself, you know, just change my whole entire look just because I want to conform to, like, you know, what is going to be acceptable within corporate America, which is really what's acceptable for white men. But you know, let's go ahead and let Antonio talk. This video already like 7 minutes long. I've been yapping, haven't I? Damn, I've been yapping.
To be low cut, and it's like, why is that? Whose standard is that?
Oh,
by?
yeah,
It's
the
when
low
you can't
cut.
wear your hair in certain ways, have to be low cut, and it's
Low
like,
cut.
why is that? Whose standard is that by? We know whose standard it is. And I love using this picture right here as an example of what America wants. With the Native Americans, you see on the left how they were originally. Through assimilation, this is how they want you to be. Anything that is a part of your culture originally.
And I mean, here's the thing about this picture. You can look at these two pictures, and you can see that this guy on the right here, most people are going to look at this and say that he looks professional, and look at the left and say that he does not look professional. But I really want you to think about why you think that. Why do you think that this on the left is not professional, whereas this is? It's just because that there is a winning culture, like, out there, just in the world, which we all know which culture it is. I'm not going to say it. I ain't going to say it. White people. Man, okay, wait. We don't condone Kanye. He did apologize, but we don't condone Kanye. He on some crazy shit. But anyway, you know, let's go ahead and cut that out. But anyways, though, there is no reason why we couldn't have just said this on the left. It's not professional instead. Like, he dripped out. He dripping right now, man. Got the big ass hoops, man. Them hoops probably worth more than your entire mortgage. Okay, that's probably not true. But either way, like he wearing some shit. He kitted out. But over here, you know, it's just like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But it's just like, for some reason, we've just decided as a society that this is just going to be the prevailing thing. This is going to be what looks better.
Assimilation, this is how they want you to be. Anything that is a part of your culture, abandon it and just consume ours, you know? And then also, it's like, you can dress up in both ways, but for different occasions. If I'm going to the store to get groceries, my nigga, I'm not putting on no fucking suit. I'm gonna wear a hoodie. I'm going to wear some sweatpants, some slides. I'm going to be comfortable. Now, if I'm going to a wedding or like a business meeting, of course, I'm going to wear a suit. I'm going to be more professional. This just reminds me of a trend that was going around on TikTok. It's always anti-black trends going around. Oh, I'm not Hellcat black. I'm this type of black. And it's like, what the f does that mean? And like, if you are that type of person who wears suits on regular day basis, then fine. Because I know people like that, and that's them. Also, you have people like me who would prefer more streetwear type of clothes. It doesn't change the person that I am. I still operate the same way. I'm very respectable. I'm very well-mannered. I'm going to still get the job done. But to hold this person to a higher standard because he dresses more, you know, professional than me is crazy, because guess what? I'm still gonna get the work done probably even better than him. So these are the two dudes from the other video. But as y'all can see, I know this is just a joke, but they're like looking down on the dude with the Nike tech. They are dressed business casual, and you know, they feel better. Similar to how a lot of white people look down on black culture and think that black culture is bad. Do y'all kind of get?
Glad he's touching on this, like, ultimately, because what it is when you are putting the action of like going like, yeah, man, I'm a quarter zip nigga. Y'all Nike tracksuit niggas is giving house nigga. It's giving coon. Say it with me. I thought I muted my mic. Coon. We don't like them coons. we don't like them coons.
All right.
Negro, please. Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party? Huh?
Yeah.
Someone
yeah.
get this boo away.
Get
Watch where
attacked
you
by
walking.
tech hoodlum.
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white.
Putting all the white
At first,
jokes
I
in
thought
there.
I was tripping, but a lot of people do feel the same way as me. You know, maybe we just, I don't know.
The quarter zip Nike tech meme is literally just textbook classism, and I was gonna let y'all have y'all fun with this shit until I heard somebody say that the CIA is upset with the black community for
Yeah, I hate
wearing
that
quarter
climate.
zips. You think the CIA, the people who have resorted to putting drugs into our communities, undermining our leaders, and getting fathers out of the
Exactly,
household,
right?
really give a fuck that you're conforming to white standards of professionalism? No.
Thank you. Summed it
And
up
I don't want
perfectly,
this video
brother.
to be misconstrued. If you like quarter zips and you like dressing up a certain way, dress that way.
Yeah.
But you can have it both ways, man. You can dress up professional and you can dress up in streetwear. Like, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
I'm a quarter zip type of guy. Like, this is strictly what I wear.
Actually.
I'm a Nike tech type of guy. Like, it's fucking stupid. And the people I've seen have issues with it can't exactly voice why they have an issue with it. So they come out looking like the fucking screaming lion versus the monkey. It's over. I've already made myself the Chad quarter zip wearer type
Yeah.
shit. The reason why you were angry is because it's classism. It's somebody being classist towards you, but doing it under the guise of a joke.
Yeah.
The quarter zip trend is a recession indicator, and a stone cold post 2000s great recession indicator at that. The idea that history doesn't repeat itself, but it most definitely rhymes, has never been more evident as it is today. If we look back at the '08 recession, it's crazy how much of the signs of it coming are reflected in what we are seeing now almost 20 years later. We can start with the quarter zips, which is not a bad trend by any means,
Yeah.
but it reminds me of when everybody was going to parties and clubs wearing business casual in the early 2000s. A lot of people argue that that trend started based on the club discrimination that we often still see today. Like, if a club doesn't want black people, they usually can't just say that. But they can ban.
And you see, I ain't never really think about that. I'm not about to lie, you know, in the early 2000s, I wasn't an adult. I wasn't going out to clubs like that. You know, I was still eating my Cheerios, you know, watching Saturday morning cartoons. You know, I was watching Shaolin Showdown and stuff like that. You know, if you know, you know. But yeah, you know, I ain't never really think about that specific take, actually. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm just letting them continue, actually.
What they think black people like to wear. Thus the business casual in the club. And that marked the time period of the Great Recession, like what a lot of people like to call recession pop did. Recession pop was the music that was coming out around that time. Think LMFAO, Flo Rida, early Kesha, early Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj's whole first album, and even early Soulja Boy. But the idea that the demand for escapist, high-energy party songs with a fun or outright positive vibe would go up at a time when your average American would value an escape from a day-to-day life being heavily influenced by the economic downturn that caused the foreclosure, divorce, and unemployment rates to spike at that time. That's where they get the idea or the concept of recession pop from. And I'd argue-
See, and that's the interesting thing because I can even think about this, like when it comes down to thinking about some of my homies and stuff like that, or some of my friends, some of the people I be around and stuff. Like, I think that we can all agree, you know, you, me, all of us watching this video, like, yeah, you know, there's some of us. There's some people out there that are thriving. They're cool economically, financially, all of that stuff. You know, they having the best time. But a large majority of us is not. But for some reason, it's very weird because you don't really hear about people struggling, though. People don't wear their struggles on their sleeves, which is obvious. You know, why would you go ahead and put that out there for the world to see. Like that's just not advantageous. Even if you think about it from a primal like standpoint, why are you going to sit around and just show everyone your wounds and stuff? Just show everyone that you're injured. You're not going to do that. But it's just like this kind of cope that you have of just like trying to exude this like higher class and essentially show that you are better than other people because you dress in this way. It's kind of one of those things that just really stems from insecurity. It really stems from the fact that you don't actually feel, very good in the state and position that you're in your life. So you have to display outwardly to everyone that, yes, I am cool. Don't worry about me. I'm chilling. I got money like that. And that's why you're going to wear the quarter zips. I'm realizing that like a lot of this stuff I'm talking about sounds really funny because I'm sitting here dressing like this right now, but I promise you guys, I literally just came from work. This is just how I dress for work. That's
Based on a few factors that a lot of Americans, though for different reasons, feel like that today. And if you still don't believe we're seeing the signs of what's to come in these recession indicators, you're sitting here like, what does any of this prove? Know that Subway brought back the $5 footlong. Not without inflation, but they brought it back. Mind you, I was a 7th grader when they came out with that the first time back in 2008. My mom worked and would get home after me.
The $5 footlong back? What are you? Yo, I used to get a $5 foot. Yo, listen. I used to get a $5 footlong after school like every single day, 4th through 6th grade. Yeah, that was like what, like 2008, 2009, 2000. Yeah. Like 4th to 6th, bro. I used to get us. Oh, wait, I might have to hit up a Subway tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie.
Needless to say, there was more than a few $5 footlong nights during the week, and it made sense. Subway still wanted revenue while Americans had less money to spend. Americans had less money to spend due to the recession. What was the point of this video again?
So although this quarter zip trend, this dude right here is very handsome, by the way. Just a very handsome individual.
Yo, ain't no way he
Funny,
put himself
and
in this
also, I
video.
love to see young black men dressing out of their comfort zone. I'm not gonna lie, it's anti-black, but hear me out first. Throughout history, anything that black people have done, it's always connected to negativity or it's bad. And this does apply to the way we dress, streetwear, Jordans, etc. My thing is with this trend, it's like you're putting on, a quarter zip, which is probably more corporate, and then you denounce, a Nike Tech, which is associated with black people. And it's so stupid because you can literally just wear both for different occasions. And what makes the quarter zip so much better? It's similar to how people love to praise the mob and the mafia when they used to commit some of the most heinous crimes, but hey, they used to dress nice, they wore suits, they was still doing crimes. Yeah. And I see people making statements like the CIA mad about this. No, this is what this...
I mean, the entire reason why when it comes to the mob and the mafia, why they're glorified is literally because they're white. That's the entire fucking reason. I mean, it's just like you can look at any other organized group of crime, like, for example, the cartel. People don't look at them and fetishize them as much. You can even look at serial killers. Think about Jeffrey Dahmer, for example. Why are so many people over here looking at that documentary and being like, honestly, low-key, I let Jeffrey Dahmer crack. Hey, yo, pause. Wait, don't clip that. That's not me saying I'm mocking the people that's saying that shit. Yeah, but for real, though, like overall, it's just one of those things to where it doesn't really make a lot of sense to go ahead and glorify that stuff because they're just doing heinous things, but they're white, so it's okay. Comes down to pretty much anything.
CIA would want.
I just saw a white man comment, the quarter zip movement is doing more for the black community than the Black Lives Matter movement ever could.
Yeah,
and I would just like to take this time to remind y'all that respectability politics will never save the black community. Let's just remind y'all that they were still lynching black people with a full suit and tie on. It does not matter if you...
Talk to him. This reminds me of a video. I think I'm going to put it up right here, actually, about... about a guy when it comes to wearing a suit and everything.
I went to Harvard Law School. I've got a lot of degrees and awards. I've won cases at the U.S. Supreme Court, and I've been in courtrooms representing clients, getting there early, sitting at defense counsel's table, where the judge will walk in and immediately get mad at me. The judge will look at me and say, hey, you get back out there in the hallway. I don't want any defendants sitting in my courtroom without their lawyer. And I have to stand up and say, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am the lawyer. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Brian Stevenson. I have to try to de-escalate this situation. And I was doing that recently. I was in a courtroom in the Midwest, and the judge started laughing, but it wasn't an apologetic laugh.
It's just like it doesn't matter what you do as a black person to try to assimilate into white culture. At the end of the day, what is the first thing that anyone is going to notice about you the second that they see you? I know my answer.
Have on Nike Techs or a quarter zip. If they view you as a ghetto black man, that's how they're going to view you, either way. It does not matter if you're wearing Lululemon or a full business casual suit. If they view you as a ghetto black person, if they have that stereotype of black people in their minds, that's what
Especially
they're
if
going
you
to
got
view you
dreads.
as either way. And trying to be deemed as more respectable or more likable or more polished will not change their view of you or other black people.
Man, fuck them people. Like, I don't know how many times I gotta keep telling black people this. Now, if you want to dress up in a suit, then do that. But if you're doing these things, cutting your hair to appeal to them, to make them feel more safer, what's wrong with you, gang? Nothing that you do is gonna make you feel me? Be you. If you are a person that dresses up that way, then that's perfectly fine. But don't change who you are to get this to y'all get what I'm saying, bro.
Like, I'm all for black people trying out different styles and aesthetics, but to act like those other styles are ghetto or low class and a quarter zip is just so high class and it just makes you so much better, it's just crazy to me.
Those are my thoughts on this whole situation.
So I mean, that's the thing, man. Wait, let me actually go ahead and let me finish.
I want to start a discourse in the comments. Of course, black people aren't a monolith. Some black people feel the way I feel. Others feel differently, and that's perfectly fine. We can all come together, have an understanding of different, everybody's output, and just come to a resolution. Also, I know y'all like, hey, this hoodie fire as hell.
All right, man. I don't think I'm buying the merch. But anyways, yeah, though. I mean, that's the bottom line for me, though, because when it comes down to, being black in different spaces and places, at the end of the day, it does not matter how much you try to assimilate to what white society is. You are always going to be one of the others. You are always going to be different. You are not going to fit in with them. So, I mean, I know for me, when it came down to that, like, I originally looked at the whole quarter zip trend, and I was like, yo, man, this is pretty funny. And I still do think it's pretty funny, especially the original videos by the original guy. What's this guy? Let me go back in the video real quick. It's pretty early on. Yeah, this man, I don't know his name. I don't know. I don't know what he does. But, like, this guy, like, I thought that was pretty funny looking at that. But it's not even that it's going too far. I mean, it is going too far, but I think that ultimately the thing that I don't like is that it's tinged with this sense of also putting down the other thing. And him saying, we don't do Nike Techs no more. It's like, you're just saying we don't do black culture anymore. And it doesn't make any sense to go ahead and denounce something like that when black culture is quite literally what everyone wants to steal from. Let's go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. And guess what? White people go be wearing the Nike Tech suits in about like, I promise you guys. Wait, I promise you guys. Well, man, what's today? It is November 18, 2025. I promise you. 2027, summer of 2027, by the summer of 2027, white people are going to be wearing Nike Tech suits. I promise you, it is going to be a thing. It's going to be a trend. White people are going to be doing that shit. And guess what? It's not going to be seen as ghetto. It's not going to be seen as any of that stuff. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where I just really would like to empower, black people overall. And again, we can disagree. We can have discourse. And if you guys want to talk in the comment section below about it, like, I just don't see how this is something that is not putting down black people in what we do. And we need to continue to lift each other up. We can wear quarter zips. We can wear suits. We can do all of that stuff, just like what I'm doing. But we can also be black. We can also do other things that are typically black. Like I wear this to work. I wear this to work. I got some khakis on. I don't have them on right now, but I usually wear Jordans, though. I wear Jordans with them. I don't give a fuck. You might say, no, Matt. Nah, I wear Jordans with these shits, man. I'm still black at the end of the day. I wear Jordans and I got dreads. I'm still black. It is what it is. But anyways, though, you boys go ahead and comment down in the comment section below. And yeah, you guys have yourselves a damn good one. Thanks for watching.